If you're a small YouTuber, well, this video won't just help you to drive views. This video is going to help you multiply those views.
Brian G. Johnson.
Hey, it's me, Brian G. Welcome back to the channel. And if you want to grow on YouTube, well, stake your claim and amplify your message by subscribing. Click on the bell notification and you'll be on your way. Step number one, not just better keyword-driven titles, but smarter keyword-driven titles. Every tool that you access that helps with keyword research, every expert that you listen to mentions that you've got to pay attention to competition and that you should select a keyword phrase that you're able to rank for. And it makes total sense, so you go ahead, you publish the video, and you don't drive any views, even though that you've ranked in the top 5, maybe even number 1. Here's what's up. It's not your fault. There's a missing ingredient that you've got to include when you craft your titles, when you pay attention to the competition. And if you leave this out, it's a struggle. That brings us to step number 2, multi-keyword phrase video titles. You know, with a lot of YouTubers, YouTube search gets a bad rap. The traffic source, YouTube search, they think, you know, it doesn't work, it's not worth focusing on, and they're absolutely right unless you leverage the strategy that I'm gonna share. Don't make the mistake of thinking search doesn't matter. Right now, this channel that you're on drives between 3,000 and 5,000 views every single day, and the top 3 sources of traffic are browse, suggested videos, and search. And they all make up about the same amount of views, about 23 to 24%. Even better, most viewers that come through search are non-subscribers. I mean, how do you think your channel is gonna grow? By driving non-subscriber views. In search is the easiest path to driving those views. Now, as you can see, this particular video is driving 58% of its views through search. But here comes the real secret. The video title of the video I mentioned is only 7 words long. It's pretty short. Now, stick with me because this is very powerful. As you create your video titles, you should have a few goals. Number 1, your title should be short. And there's a reason for that. I'm gonna get into it in depth in another video, but just know that shorter is better. As you can see in this image, this particular video ranks for a tremendous amount of different keyword phrases. I created the short title, but I also created a title that incorporates many of the words that people search for, like I mentioned. I type in YouTube video edit, and I see all these keyword phrases that come up, like YouTube video editing software, apps, and then notice at the bottom, 2-in-1, YouTube video editing tips and YouTube video editing tips and tricks. Why 2-in-1? Because both keyword phrases include the phrase YouTube video editing tips. So I knew if I started my video title out with that exact phrase, I would have incredibly high relevancy for the keyword phrase YouTube video editing tips, as well as YouTube video editing tips and tricks. And this is the core of the strategy that can completely change the game for you. When I add a word or a phrase to my title, I always am thinking, how much is that gonna open me up for additional keyword phrases? And I've got one more rabbit in my hat, as the saying goes. 2018, so I titled my video, YouTube Video Editing Tips and Tricks 2018. Now, when I'm thinking about the words, I'm also thinking about the competition, the supply and the demand. And I'm thinking about how many videos are being published to YouTube right now about YouTube video editing that contain the year 2018. Furthermore, how many of those videos and search queries, that is what the viewer is searching for, are gonna include words like YouTube video editing, tips, tricks. And when you look at this image, you can see this was sound thinking, and I'm showing up for numerous keyword phrases around 2018. And my result, number one YouTube ranking, number 1 YouTube ranking, and a number 2 YouTube ranking. And this is how to get your foot in the door. Step number 3, stop sabotaging your video titles and your thumbnails. And here's why. Nothing is more important than your title and your thumbnail when it comes to your metadata, which is, technically speaking, that's your title, but your thumbnail is so incredibly important. Here's what's up. I see a lot of YouTubers that are like, well, I didn't really select a keyword phrase. I mean, if you're gonna take the time to film and edit a video, to think, to put yourself through that process, do the video justice by identifying a keyword phrase that will allow you to show up in search. And here's what's up. It's not just search. How do you think suggested videos work? Well, through metadata. That's the first point at which YouTube looks at to try to figure out where to catalog, to categorize where to put your video. Where to put your video in search. What users to target. You see, YouTube takes a channel and what the channel publishes videos about, and then YouTube matches the channel with viewers. And YouTube looks at the viewer history, what they're interested in. And you know what? When you look at leading experts when it comes to YouTube growth, every one of those experts are paying attention, great attention, to the topic of their video, to their video titles, and they're well aware the keyword phrases they're targeting. Shouldn't you do that too? In this image, you can see a Google engineer talking about the importance of relevancy to the users and thus to YouTube. Relevance is baked into the YouTube algorithm. And as you know, when it comes to YouTube search, well, videos are sorted by relevance. Relevance meaning closely connected, and that connection happens with the search query. That's what somebody searches for. And YouTube matches videos through browse, through search, as well as suggested videos. Don't think keywords are just for search. They're not. Step number 4, the next 15 seconds of your video. Daryl Bean, who runs the YouTube channel Beanie Draws, had a great post on the Tube Ritual forum or group on YouTube. And he mentioned the power of retention, which is ultimately how long a viewer watches your video. It's critical to your success. And he mentioned, you know, the more I think about it, the more I realize that every 15 seconds in the video, I gotta think, like, are these 15 seconds gonna hold the retention of the viewers? Are they gonna continue to watch? Or are viewers gonna be thinking,
oh my gosh, totally get to the point, stop rambling, give me something interesting.
I just wish this person would get to the freaking point.
and when that happens, click, and the viewer is gone and the retention ends, and that will determine the success or lack thereof of your video. So as you sit down to edit your footage, make sure to cut out as much as possible. That's the key, I think, to cut out as much as possible with retaining the message you want to share, the information, the entertainment value that you want to share. You dig? Hey Daryl, thanks for the awesome post on the Tube Ritual group. Poof. Time and time again, YouTube has told us that it's engaging videos that it rewards in YouTube search. And YouTube has gone on record mentioning that videos with high or above average audience retention or watch time are more likely to show up in search and suggested locations on YouTube. And recently, YouTube has mentioned you can increase the chance of YouTube suggesting your content by increasing your click-through rate and your video watch time. Now do this, check out the video in the YouTube card now to learn how you can improve your audience retention. And if you want to grow on YouTube, if you want to drive more views and gain more subscribers, well, make sure to subscribe. Click on the yellow B to the G icon below. You'll subscribe. I'll continue to share the strategies, the tactics. 35,000 subscribers. Thank you. And yeah, you'll feed a poodle. I got 2 and they're hungry. I'll see you next time. You dig?